everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you're all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today, right now, I'm going to be checking out one of the currently unreleased cars from the latest Smuggler's Run DLC update for GTA 5. This is not currently out in single player. It is this right here. This is a currently unreleased classic car. This is the classic version of the Rapid GT, which is the Aston Martin style car that you get in GTA 5. This thing looks absolutely amazing. You get some... In fact, let's just fix this up. I'm a little bit bashed up here. There we go. This thing, it gives me sort of like hints of Aston Martin, a little bit of Jensen Interceptor as well, and also the sort of like shape of it feels quite muscle car-y, but at the same time this is supposed to be a classic British car. Very interesting styling. There are loads, and I mean loads, of tuning options for this thing, so this is going to be a pretty full-on video where hopefully I can get a couple of awesome builds out of this thing. So before we do, there's going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. So here it is, right here, the Dubocci Rapid GT Classic. I'm absolutely in love with the style of this thing, especially because I'm getting the sort of like mix of Aston Martin and Jensen Interceptor vibes. It's definitely a very British sports car based vehicle, of course, being it's supposed to be like the Aston Martin of GTA, because the Rapid GT is the sort of Aston Martin of the GTA world. So here's the exterior. Let me just go ahead and open up the bonnet, this massive bonnet, and also the boot as well, see what we've got underneath here. So under the bonnet, it's actually nothing really that exciting. It's an almost not 3D engine. I mean, the absolute bare minimum of an engine that could be put in is what we get inside this one. And then in the boot, it's pretty much empty. But the interior, from what I understand, this interior is new. I don't think we've seen another car that has this design dashboard in GTA 5. This is, I really just cannot think of anything that looks like this. It's got the Dubocci badge there on the steering wheel as well. Got all these sort of separate dials and stuff going on, RPMs, all the basic speed things. Then we've got the VAC, oil, temp, fuel. Then we've got all of our switches. Very modern switches, I might add, considering this is quite a classic car. This seems to be some sort of almost like a resto mod, especially with our modern head unit that we've got there as well. Does that say DAB? Oh, is it DAP mix? Sorry, for a second there I thought that was actually going to be like a DAB radio. This is definitely based on an Alpine head unit, based on that 6-button system with the blue. If you look at some old Alpine head units from like the 2000s, actually maybe Alpine still do head units that look like that, but they have that sort of like design with the buttons right there in blue or green, whatever. Yeah, that made me think of Alpine. But there's the interior. It is a manual gearbox as well. All the modern fittings as well, with all these buttons and everything else, and sort of like aircon and open the windows, all that sort of stuff. It's all there. Very modern inside, really, apart from like the old styling. So let's move on then to menus, custom. So let's just start off straight away with the liveries. I'm going to go in a little bit of a different thing this time. It's got a nice color scheme already. It's got this like white bonnet and this is sort of like brown paint. This feels very classic. I like, actually, the bit that has confused me is that this white, I believe, is this like a separate... No, this is the stock livery. That must be the secondary color then. Let's just have a look. Yeah, okay, that bit is the secondary. The bit that's weird about that is that the bonnet isn't the full size. The bonnet is, as you can see with that line there. So it's kind of weird that it would have that extra bit as well. I mean, it makes it look like the bonnet is bigger, but it's sort of like, in my idea, like that white that we just had was in some way some sort of like mismatched body panel. That's not going to work, because that's actually more than one body panel. But there you go. I'm just going to go ahead and set these both to something like silver just for now. So let's start off with liveries. So we have the stock, then we have the classic stripes white on the side there. We've got the big ones on the top, the Viper stripes, and then we've got these stripes on the side as well. Then we have those versions in black. Then we have the retro stripes. I'm a big fan of this stripe pattern, not so much of the two twin stripe Viper stripe things. I like the sort of like big solid one and the two small ones. Definitely more of a fan of that. Then we have the old school racer. Ooh, see, I like that. Old school lettering on the numbers, old school, just companies, old things, AutoCare, Arrow, whatever the hell they're supposed to be. But they just look old school. Then we have the Auto Exotic Black, domestic, Japanese, European. This is some sort of racing league, I guess. Then we have the white version. Then we have the Zero Gas Black version. Just some stripes, zero gas badging, and then the number 13. Then we have the white version, which also has the number 11. Nice little difference as well. And then we have Globe Oil. Again, classic numbering. Really cool. And then we have the hot rod with the stripes. Not really sure on the hot rod idea. I think for this first build, let's just go with the retro stripes in black, because black is actually the only option. Then on to the spoiler, we have the stock spoiler. Then we have the black sports spoiler. Then we have the primary sports spoiler, which is just the primary colour. It's just black primary. I guess that's the secondary colour of that version as well. They're both currently grey, silver, so you're not really going to notice. Then we have the debauchee white spoiler, which just has debauchee written on it. And then we have the debauchee black spoiler. Is that kind of like an old school racing thing to have the name on the spoiler? I think that would go with the livery. Not sure it really goes with its own thing as like, this is like a, just someone's classic car and would then have debauchee written on the spoiler. That seems a little bit too much. But I am thinking of going for the black sport spoiler, because I like the idea that that's a different colour to the primary, although it does look nice in the silver as well. For this one, we'll just go with the silver. On the front bumper, we have the stock. We have the classic front bumper. That's a complete change, just adds a whole bit at the bottom. Then we have the sports front bumper, which adds this huge lip right there. This almost looks like a Mark 1 Golf splitter on the bottom there. Then we have the racer front bumper, which has debauchee written on it again. Interesting that this is... this has to be, like, not related to the liveries, I guess. Let's just quickly change the liveries and see. Yeah, it's just always there. So that is separate to the liveries. You can have debauchee written on... This must be related to something, because obviously Rockstar do these things. It's in reference to something in real life. I'm not really getting that thing, because it seems kind of weird that you'd want to have this like really nice... If you wanted the debauchee thing, you'd have the rest of the livery. Why wouldn't it just be with those liveries? I don't know. So for this one, I'm actually thinking of going with the classic. It almost looks like a Mustang in a way. I don't know why. But I like that the sports one gets rid of that big massive bar, those two bar things on it. So I guess I'm just going to go with the sports thing. Then on the rear bumper, we have the stock. We have the classic rear bumper. Very similar. Just got these little extras on the side there. Then we have the heavy rear bumper and then the heavy rear bumper too. I quite like the look of the stock one, to be honest, but number 2 isn't too bad. I like that that's more spaced out compared to these ones. They look a bit too closed in for my liking, although we could just go with that. I'm torn between the stock and the heavy bumper. I've got to be honest. I'm actually thinking, let's just go for the heavy bumper for now, and, maybe I'll probably do the next one in stock, I think. Then we have the skirts, so we have the primary painted skirts, and then we have the secondary, because actually in standard it just comes with chrome, which is not really that good of a look, especially with it's just reflecting all the green of the grass. So I'm just going to go with painted for that one. Then on the exhaust, we have a huge amount of options, which seems to be on the hood and not the exhaust. So we have the stock vented hood, just a nice little extra... there you go, there's the gills, you can see it from there. We have the classic hood right there with the scoop on the front. We have the classic vented, the scoop and the gills. Then we have the sports hood, a nice small one there. The sports vented, the American hood, just a big, massive thing, I guess, to have a bigger engine in there. The sacrilege hood and blower. I see what they mean by sacrilege. That's supposed to be just a quaint, quintessential British car. This thing turns it into a American muscle monster. Yeah, I understand the sacrilege. So then we have that with 2 different blowers. Or this also has... Oh my god. Look, exhausts coming out the side with different blower setups. Oh my god. And even these on the side as well. This thing goes insane. Oh my god, it gets worse. Wow. Wow. That is overkill. That is brutally overkill. I don't know whether I should make this first build overkill and then make my perfect one as the second one, because I really want to see just how crazy this thing can look. So I'm going to go with the sacrilege exhausts with the big massive blower. That is insane. So that means maybe should we just go for the chrome? Actually, no, I like that. We'll go for the secondary colour and I'll change the colours in a bit. And of course, I think I've actually made a good choice with the heavy rear bumper. And then for the front one, I might actually go for the classic front bumper. Although this one does make it bigger with the whole... I'm torn, actually, on the front. I was hoping maybe there was something a bit more aggressive and mad. On the chassis, we have the roll cage and chassis upgrades, which is basically just has the roll cage in. Don't think there's anything else it's adding there. No, it pretty much does that on the inside. I believe that's probably tied to the secondary. Then we have the grille. We have the front edge hoop catches. Then we have the closed hoop catches. Then we have the back edge hoop catches. Where's that actually? Oh, it's right there. I guess because actually it could even open from that side. I'm going to go for just the front edge ones. Actually, the back edge makes it a bit more old school opening that way, so we'll go for that. Then on the fenders, we have the stock primary paint. Oh, this is the wing mirrors. Okay. So we have the stock primary paint wing mirrors. Then we have the secondary. Then we have the vintage chrome little ones. Then we have those in primary and secondary. I'm just going to go for the stock primary for this one. This is a really weird look. I'm actually, do you know what? I'm really unsure about this exhaust setup we've got, but I'm still going to keep going through with it. Then we have, on the front, these are the front lights, we have the rally light covers. Then we have the primary color versions, the secondary color versions, then the GT... Ooh, okay. Okay, I see where this is going to get a little bit mad. Then we have that in the secondary... I'm going to go for the secondary color one. I'll change the secondary color later on. Then we have the Sunstrip, primary, secondary, which is the same color for now. Then we have the debauchery one or the white. I'm going to go for the debauchery black because that bit I can understand a bit of writing on. Sunstrip, fine. Bumpers and spoilers, I don't know. Then it's just a case of engine, brakes, transmission. Let's just go ahead, turn all this all up. Transmission, suspension. There it is lowered down. That is a big drop. That's a big drop. That's pretty cool. And then we have nothing on the extras, I don't think. No, and then turbo. And maybe we'll go for a little bit of a window tint. Seems we don't really do that very often. There we go. Light smoke. Oh my god, this thing is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know, I'm going to go ahead and sort of like tone down the exhausts because it's... I see that Rockstar have added that, but there's no extra stuff to make it too crazy. It's just that. And it makes it really weird for me. So I think we can sort of tone it down. Maybe for this one we'll go for the blower. Maybe even the blower with the exhausts, but does this get rid of the blower, the exhaust at the back, actually? Ah, it does as well. Ah, see, it does have that extra. I think maybe something like that. It's crazy, but it's not wild. We can make this just the crazy car, and then I'm going to make the more subdued and nice one next. So actually, I might even change the livery. Although I think the hot rod one might be a little bit too much. Oh, maybe the globe oil. Something, I don't know. This is a really weird build, this one. Definitely the second one's going to be the winner, I think, for me. Then for the colours, I'm going to go for warm because it makes this nice sort of satin paint, which goes really well with these classic cars. Which one of these colours are going to match? Actually, these greens, that green works really well. And the sea wash works really nicely with that as well. I can't decide which one's better. I think I'm going to go for the sea wash worn on that one. And then on my secondary, I'm going to go for worn. And black is pretty cool looking, but I think maybe we can get it just, I mean, the silver grey, it sort of works, doesn't it? All the white. Silver. I mean, silver actually, yeah. Silver that we already had before is not a bad colour choice. They don't look too off. I mean, if you start going red or anything, it's going to look pretty crazy, but no, all of these normal sort of like, yeah, okay, the yellows, they're not really that great, but the black's cool. The graphite's cool. The silver grey, see the graphite is almost the same colour as that bit in the middle. So that makes you think I want to go for silver grey or silver. I'm going to go silver grey. This is a really weird build. Right, so let's just go for that. And then I'm going to change the wheels as well. Actually, I guess we can go for something a bit crazier. What have we got in muscle here? Actually, the muscle wheels are a little bit smaller. I don't know, but maybe we can go for something like the Revolver. It's a little bit crazier. And then I'm going to go ahead and whip out V-Stancer and just bring the wheels out just a little bit more. So we'll just go for the track width on the front. There we go. Let's just bring this out so it's a bit more of like a racing car with a better fitment right there. And then a little bit of height drop on the front. Actually, we can't really get that much low on the front, to be honest. That's that one pretty much done. And there we are with our first modified Rapid GT. I know you guys are going to absolutely hate this. This is not what I would do in real life, but this thing is pretty insane just for an insane build. This is like a really weird mix of sort of like classic British racing green and American muscle drag racing. Very strange. Oh, what's up with these parked mopeds?
Sexy vehicle you've got there.
Thank you very much, sir, but I'm going to drive away. Actually, there we go. There is a Rapid GT, a modern one. Yeah, excuse me, sir. There's the comparison, old and new. Right there. Let's move on then to the second one, because I'm crashing the shit out of this. And I want to make one that actually looks really nice. Okay, I've spawned in with the third one, and it's given me this really weird green flip and still the white secondary. I don't understand why that's a thing. But let's jump into this. So I'm going to try and speed through this because you've already seen all the tuning stuff. I just want to make a better version that I think I would own in real life. Because actually, probably in real life, I'd probably just have it stock in like a silver or a grey. But if I was to have it a little bit tuned, that's the idea I'm going to go for. So for livery, classically, I want to go for the retro stripes because we didn't go for those last time in the end. On the spoiler, well, I don't really like the look of the spoiler, to be honest. So I'm going to keep that stock. On the front bumper, I'm not too keen on the classic. I think I might just go for the sports again, as I just really like the look of that splitter. Definitely not one that says Debauche on it, though. On the rear bumper, I might keep this one stock again, because I don't really like all those little bits that are sticking out. I like the smoothness. I think we'll go for stock. On the skirts, again, I'm going to go for secondary colour yet again, because I like the idea of that. We'll probably get a better colour match next time. On the exhausts, well, I'm just going to go for a simple vented hood. Maybe we'll go for the classic or the sports hood. What did the sports hood add? It added that bit at the front. I could sort of imagine that. I mean, the American hood's just a little too bulgy. So I think the sports hood vented might be the go-to one. Either that or I just have the stock vented. Do you know what? Stock vented it is. I like stock vented. Then for the chassis, I'm just a bit unsure of the roll cage for this one. If I want to make this a sort of like street classic car, but like a resto mod tuning one, roll cage might be a little bit too much, so we won't go for that. On the grille, again, I don't really see the need of having these hoop catches. Even if we had the ones on the back, I mean, it goes with the look, kind of, but I like the stock look. Then on the fenders, which is actually the wing mirrors, I'm going to go for the vintage chrome this time, instead of having the modern ones. And then we also have the light covers. I really do like the GT covers. I just love that look. It's really cool, but I think we might just go not for the rallies, not for any of the covers. I think just stock. Then on the roof, I'm not going to go for a sun strip because I think it's just a little bit too much. And then that just leaves us with engine, brakes, transmission, suspension, and all of that stuff. Let's just go ahead and change the paint. Okay, so I've gone into utility, and there's already a little bit of a flip color going on. As you can probably see, there's like a green flip. I might be able to mix this out for a lighter blue or something, but I am loving the color of this. This bright blue, in fact, even the Maui blue, for some reason just really suits this car. I mean, that green, the brown is a no-no. But these blues are gorgeous. I'm loving this. Actually, this lightning blue makes it very classic, as well as the sea foam. Ooh, do you know what? Sea foam it is. I'm going to go for sea foam, and then on the secondary, I'm going to go for... What have we got in metal? We could have had this in metal, couldn't we? I'm starting to think maybe I might just match the secondary, because I don't think we're going to get anything that's that great, especially if we get a warm black. Do you know what? I'm going to keep this all one color, because I really love the look of that blue. There it is. Seafoam blue. With the black stripes still works. We just need to change the flip, because I'm not too sure on the green. There we go. I mean, black is actually... It just really makes it a bit too muted. I mean, that does look quite classic, but I do like the idea of this little pearl. I've been very into pearl colors lately. I was thinking something just like a white. Why not just have a white color somewhere? Maybe the stone silver. I mean, just a little bit. It just makes it like a little bit shinier. Frost white. Yeah, see, that makes it like you can really see the satin on it. That's really nice. I like that. So I'm going to go for that because I think red's probably a bit too much. Yeah, let's just go for the frost white on that one. And let's just change the wheels. I mean, the wheels are very nice, but let's just see if there's something else we can find. See, now I quite like the look of this 6-gun. It's just something about it, like the steely sort of look to them. Or like even the old school sort of works with this as well. All of these don't look too bad. Maybe then I'm going to go for the 6-gun, as I really don't think it's a wheel that I've used that often. Actually, no. Actually, I feel like it's a bit too modern for this car, actually, thinking about it. Maybe something like the Spooner would be better, and I can just change the color and just make it dark. Ooh. That's like banded steels in a way. That's the style I'm going to go for, sort of like banded steels. Again, it's like a classic resto mod look. There we go. We'll knock that down. I'm not going to have that poking at the front. I'll get it sort of like stance. Not stance, but I was going to have that down with a little bit. I guess the camber would... Yeah, I don't really want the camber. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to pop the height up with that one. There we go. So that's as low as it's going to go on the front. And then I'll bring the rear tyres out just a little bit. And I might actually just keep that height as is, because I don't think I need lower. Yeah, that's about all we want for that one. I love the look of that. It's just really understated. It's got a really nice blue to it. It looks like it's been restored. Oh, that is beautiful, but I do want to upgrade the engine, actually. So we've got all the engine, brakes, transmission, suspension done, but I didn't do the turbo. I want the turbo noises, and maybe we'll go for a little bit of a tint. Again, light smoke. I don't know why. I feel like this is sort of sacrilege because I've made this non-standard, but at the same time, I really like this as a modified classic car. I don't know, I'm not sure what you guys are going to think about this one, but I'm quite fond of this. And of course, I've gone with like a modified sort of like turbo engine in it. It's not a modern sound. I guess we could change the sound of the engine as well whilst we're here. So I'm going to go for a muscle sound because I just want something that's just a bit deeper, a bit throatier. Something like, I don't know, drift tamper? What we got here? Oh, that's kind of raw sounding. That's maybe a bit too raw. What about the Duke of Death? Oh, see, now that's interesting because that's got a turbo sound as well. So that's like a turbo V8 sound. I like that. That's definitely a resto mod. I could have changed the engine. I think that's going to work. I've also just added a little change as well. I decided to put those covers on the front lights because, I don't know, I'm sort of testing them out. I'll actually wait for you guys to let me know in the comment section what you think. But there we go. That is the Debauchery Rapid GT Classic. Currently unreleased as I make this video, but will be out at some point. I don't know when. For GT Online, but that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have single player and you've already got this car and you've decided to modify it, you can always send me a picture via Twitter at Figureight for my Twitter. Links to my Twitter in the description below. I'd love to see how you guys have modified this, or maybe by the time you watch this, it's already out in GT Online and you've bought it. And again, I'd love to see what one you've made, how you've made it, what you've done to it. I'd be very curious to see, but that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.